being death time is fixed. So it can be extended by doing some good deeds or trying to someone. So for example, keeping good relations with can be extended or
Yes, the brother is asking about the time span of a person, whether it is fixed or can be extended. It is actually disputed among scholars whether this does change or not, because originally what we have is that each person has a specific time on earth. This is very clear, destined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we have with this some hadith from the Messenger of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that if a person does this or that, Allah Almighty will increase his life or his lifespan. So how do we combine these together? Now, one understanding of scholars is that the expansion of lifespan is not in number, not in the time specified, but in the blessing of that time, that he can achieve so much in this short time, like someone who lived much longer. And we see this in realities. See many people, mashallah, achieving so much in so little time. This is probably the meaning of this hadith. We have some of the early scholars, mashallah, writing volumes when it was very difficult to write. And they used to write letter by letter. And they have published so much that you don't have time in your life to read it, let alone author it. How could they have done this? That is the bliss from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their time and their life. And some of them didn't live long even. So you can never imagine how is this possible except with this understanding. That is one thing. There is another understanding, that the destiny from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are two destinies. One of them that is fixed and never changes. This is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Nobody knows about it except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is the destiny from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the first. There is another one that is conditional. The one that the angels know about. The one that the angels write down. This is the conditional one. This can change based on what you are going to do. But whatever you are going to do, eventually it will match what is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Lawh al-Mahfuz. So Allah already knows what you are going to do and how it will turn out. But to the angels, what is written, for example, is that his lifespan is 60 years. But if he reach out to his relatives and he helped the poor and needy and he has been good, his lifespan will increase and become 70, for example. That is the other understanding, and seems the one that is closer to the truth. Both of them are valid understanding, but this one seems closer to the truth. Because there is a narration about Adam alayhi salam, when he came to know about the lifespan of some of the prophets, some of his children, and he thought one of them has a very little lifespan. So he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase his life from his own, from Adam. Adam, Allah Almighty informed him that he will live for 1,000 years. So he said, take 40 years from me and give it to him. Clear? This is the narration. This is how the narration goes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows about the authenticity, but about the meaning. I don't recall now the source. So then, when he was 960 years old, the angels came to him to take his life. There is a story before that he desired some of the fruits from heaven, and he sent his children to ask the angels to bring it, but the angel told them, no, your father is already over. His time on earth is over. So they came back to him, and the angels spoke to him before taking his life. And then burying him. Now the proof for this, what we are saying, is that he was surprised. He said, no, I still have 40 years. He forgot about what he has given hundreds of years back. He said, no, Allah Almighty told me I will live for 1,000 years. Say, yeah, but don't you remember that you have already gifted 40 years to one of your children, one of your offspring? And then he remembered, and then they took his life. So if this story is correct, it proves that that is the destiny, the conditional one. The conditional one, But eventually the conditional one will match what is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why we say this is a clearer understanding is because in the Holy Quran, Allah Almighty says in one ayah in Surah Al-Ra'd, يَمْحُ اللَّهُ مَا يَشَاءُ وَيُثْبِتُ. Allah Almighty erases what He wills and establishes what He wills. Erases from destiny whatever He wishes, and keep as it is whatever He wishes. And then Allah Almighty said at the end of the verse after that, وَعِنْدَهُ أُمُّ الْكِتَابِ. And with Him alone, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, أُمُّ الْكِتَابِ, اللوح المحفوظ, the leaflet that never changes. So that is why the understanding is that there is another one that is not definite, but that the person can change somehow. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Now.